Hi there, today we're going to be looking at equations with brackets. Equations can contain brackets like in the example 5 bracket x plus 1 n bracket equals to 20. There are two common methods to solve this. In method 1, we first expand the brackets and then simplify. 5 multiplied x gives 5x, and 5 multiplied 1 gives 5, so we have 5x plus 5 equals to 20. We want to get the term with x by itself, so we want to move the plus 5 away. To do this, we can subtract 5 to both sides. We're left with 5x is equal to 15. To get x by itself, we divide both sides by 5. 15 divided by 5 gives us 3, so our answer is x is equal to 3. In method 2, we eliminate the multiplier, which is the number in front of the brackets, and then we simplify. The multiplier is 5, so we divide it away. Make sure that any operation performed on one side is also performed on the other side. We then have x plus 1 is equal to 4. Subtract 1 on both sides of the equation and we are left with x is equal to 3. Method 2 is often shorter, so in our examples we will be using method 2. Here is our first example. Solve this equation. 2 bracket x minus 3 n bracket equals to 10. 2 is our multiplier. To get rid of it on the left-hand side, we need to divide by 2. If we divide by 2 on the left-hand side, we need to divide 2 on the right-hand side so that the equation remains balanced. On the left-hand side, we'll be left with x subtract 3. We don't need to write the brackets. On the right-hand side, we'll have 10 divided by 2, which will give us 5. We want to get x by itself, so we need to move the negative 3 away. To do that, we'll do the opposite operation, which is plus 3. Do it to the left-hand side and the right-hand side. We'll then be left with x is equal to 5 plus 3. Therefore, x is equal to 8. Here is our second example. Solve this equation. 4 bracket 3g plus 2 is equal to 16. 4 is our multiplier. To remove it, we need to do the opposite operation, which will be division. Divide 4 on the left-hand side and divide 4 on the right-hand side so that the equation remains balanced. On the left-hand side, we'll then be left with 3g plus 2, and on the right-hand side, we'll have 16 divide 4, which will give us 4. We want to have the term with g by itself, so we need to move the plus 2 away. To do that, we need to subtract 2 to both sides. We're left with 3g is equal to 4 subtract 2, which is 2. We have 3 multiplied g on the left-hand side. To get g by itself, we need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So we need to divide 3 on both sides. We'll then have g is equal to 2 divided by 3. Here is our next example. Solve this equation. 1/5 bracket m plus 3 close bracket equals to 11. This is the same as 1/5 multiplied by m plus 3 divided by 1. That means we can rewrite this equation as m plus 3 divided by 5 is equal to 11. First, we need to eliminate the denominator by multiplying both sides by 5. This will give us m plus 3 is equal to 11 multiplied 5, which is 55. To get m by itself, we need to move plus 3 away, so we'll subtract 3 to both sides. We'll then have m is equal to 55 subtract 3. Therefore, m is 52. Here is our last example. Solve this equation. 2/3 bracket 2 subtract y n brackets equals to 10. We can rewrite this as 2/3 multiplied by 2 minus y on 1 is equal to 10. This will give us 2 bracket 2 minus y over 3 is equal to 10. To get rid of 3 in the denominator, we'll multiply 3 to both sides of the equation. We'll then have 2 bracket 2 minus y equals to 10 multiplied by 3, which is 30. 2 is a multiplier here. To get rid of it, we'll need to divide 2 to both sides of the equation. We'll then have 2 subtract y equals to 30 divided by 2, which is 15. To get y by itself, we need to move the plus 2 away, so we'll subtract 2 to both sides of the equation. We'll have negative y is equal to 15 subtract 2, which is 13. Last step is just to multiply or divide both sides by negative 1. Therefore, y is equal to negative 13.